Hello. I'm just going to wait about 2 minutes and we'll see if people show up. It's all late at night already. Well, not really, but you know. All right. So, here's the thing. This game is a turn-based game. And therefore, it's got a very predictable response to inputs, right? You go left a square, you go down a square, you go right a square. That has those consequences of moving you very well-defined amounts. And there's only a couple other controls. There's a character switch control, and there's, in some game modes, there's a pick-up, put-down control. So I figure I can just do, by input buffering, I can set up a bunch of gameplay tests. And then I can just run those tests all the time to verify that the engine still works. So basically, I want to make a system that records my inputs. And then I'll play through individual levels with that recording on. And then, maybe, I guess, what do I do if I make mistakes? I guess I have undo go back one in the recording. The thing is, undo is a little bit flaky right now. I might have to fix that. But one problem at a time. Like my recordings, one problem at a time. Anyway, so I just need to do. I just need to do arrow keys, character switch, and that's about it. And in fact, maybe to be robust against character switch order, I should record which character it is doing each movement. Maybe. And that way, it'll be a little more robust if we change a level to say, oh, this character is first and this character is second, then we'll be a little bit more robust to that. Anyway. Wait, are we having bad noise? What's going on? I got to monitor the stream on a different computer. What's wrong with the dying noise? What's wrong with the dying noise? Doesn't seem so. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Over the water. So, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I don't know. The desktop audio is maybe clipping a little bit. Why are you people such whiners? What are you guys talking about? People are such whiners. Oh my God. Desktop audio is down so low. What are you even talking about? Look how many minus decibels we are. I'm just going to start, I'm going to listen to this again through headphones. And if it's genuinely not distressing, I'm just going to start banning people so that I can work. What is going on? I mean, yeah, the sound effects, they're temp effects. They're not like good or anything, but they haven't changed in a long time. Let me see. That is weird. That one sound. I guess it's like that one sound is resonating with my webcam or something. Well, let me just turn off the speakers. It's a little bit sad that I can't hear my own audio then, but whatever. Guys, I'm just going to ban everybody at this point. It wasn't that bad. Yeah, it was just the speakers feeding back. And I listened to it, and even the speakers feeding back was not that bad. So all right. So we're going to make tests. Well, I'm going to make a file. We're going to load it. And add that. And then I'm going to add a place for the levels to go. like a level tests. New folder. It's maybe not the best name because it's kind of like level sets, but whatever. It's just what I'm doing right now. Okay. Now, well, I want to make some commands. Developer commands. I mean, I guess I'll put them in the tests file. So we're going to do this, and well, we might as well explicitly say false. So now, let me take a look at my buffered move. Where's buffer move defined? Simulate. What? I just searched for buffered move : : This program drives me to rage. All right, so buffered move, this has the ID of who's moving. Right, because we can buffer stuff and it's got the delta and whether it's a repeat. So really, that's most of what we want to record right now. This isn't going to have item use, but that's okay. So we're going to do this. What do we call it? We'll just say scope file, test moves, current test moves, an array of buffered move, log current test, log current move. All right. Enact next. So we call enact move. Okay. If currently testing test log current move. Great. I guess So we want to, let's pass the entity manager because we want to know what file to save. All right, so test begin level re equals. The thing is, we might start testing in the middle of a level, and I don't really. Well, we'll just do that. We'll just do it here anyway. So we get the current level name. Test end level. Well, for now, we will say file data as just this string that says hello sailor. Right. File name, like that. File name is tprint run tree data level tests dot level test comma manager dot well, maybe we don't need the current level name as long as we call test end level. It's just I'm a little worried. Let's pretend we don't need this for now. Let's pretend we don't need this. We might need it if we do confusing stuff. File name, blah, 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 blah. Manager universe name. I don't know. We're just typing a bunch of stuff. I don't really know. We don't have. Oh, it's called write entire file, not OS. Duh. Okay, great. So we've got a test begin level, test end level. Start testing, stop testing. Now, okay, so we have in enact move, I believe we inserted our thing. Now, in check for victory, when we throw ourselves over to victory, we'll say test and level manager. Do we have manager here? Yes. So we say test end level as soon as we trigger victory. And then advanced level calls something. Reset entity manager init level. if currently tested, test begin level manager. I forgot why if currently testing in. So that's pretty good. Wow, your guys' revenue numbers are way off. Don't extrapolate from Steam Spy numbers. Don't extrapolate from Steam Spy numbers. They're inaccurate. I don't actually know the number of sales. I haven't added it up. All right. So we have good things happening. We have a begin level and end level. Actually, instead of just writing hello sailor, current test moves.count. I at least want to know that we're getting these moves. All right. Well, let's just start. Testing started. Test save failed. All right, well. Log print. Test and level. Unable to save file. That's weird. What did I call it? Start testing. Test save failed. Level tests. We don't want to put run tree on there. I'm a goofball. Our current working directory is run tree, so that's what we want. And let me, since we're launching into this all the time, let's start in Heroes 1. Okay. All right, it didn't complain. So let's look in level tests. Well, I don't see any files. That's weird. Is this just not loading, or is it legit? What is going on? What is going on? Oh. wrote file data level tests, and we got non-catalog asset change. Oh, there it is. It just, what was going on? Okay. Well, it's certainly saving files. So now, let's see what these files say. Hello Sailor, we have 10 buffered moves. Hello Sailor, we have 20 buffered moves. Hello Sailor, we have 6. It's because I started that one late. All right, so we're getting moves. That's great. Yeah, maybe I just forgot to start the test. Okay. So let us now write the moves. I'm going to say file data concatenate lines. Lines is a dot string, lines dot allocator is temp for so lines dot array add lines always put version numbers in your file formats. Always do that before you do anything else. All right. And we have our little text file thing. So the same thing, I'm going to read this using the same thing that we use, for example, for these, right? So remember we have this kind of thing. So that's just my standard version number header that I'm using for text file formats. For current test moves, I'm going to print array add lines the ID and then a comment and the mesh name maybe, and then a new line. Oh, you know, I didn't record that. Let's just do this. It dot ID. Let's do it in is it print ID or ID string? ID string. All right. So we're going to do that. And then what else? I'm going to change the ID string not to use a comma because the comma is confusing also. Let me just, maybe I'm going to use a slash or a dash. What is slash? I don't know. Anyway, so we're printing who it is, and well, yeah, let's just go. There might be some cases in which this is sad, but we'll do it for now. That's it. Now we've got I keep not passing the pointer. Oh. Keep doing the same thing. Maybe I should make an array print that just prints to an array. I don't know. All right. I should make a shorter name. I'm already going to be annoyed by that. All right. So we go right, we go right, we go right, we go down, down, left, left, down, left, left, down. All right. Okay. So that's fine. I have a feeling that later I'm going to want to add more metadata. Like every time I record one of these, I'm going to want to save the guy's position in the world, like in a comment and stuff. But for now, we're not going to bother. See, eventually later in some of the levels, there's timed entities. So like we need to save what time these things happened. Let's do that now. We know we're going to need that, so let's do that now. We don't have a gameplay time on the... Oh boy. We're going to need a gameplay time on the entity manager. I mean, all the stuff that's on core.timeinfo should go here. Anyway, we're just going to save that. And in init level, don't do that. We're not actually advancing the gameplay time yet, but we're just going to do that and we're going to save it out. So in tests, what is my other test? Yeah. Okay, in here, we don't want to actually save buffered move. We want to save a test move, right? Test move is struct buffered move, game play time is a float. All right, and then now we got to change all this stuff. So game play time. right? tmove, tmove. All right. Well, oh, I forgot to print the time to the file. Comma, it gameplay time. That's just always going to be 0 for now. And then we new line it. All right. That didn't, oh, I didn't start testing. I should print something to the console as well. All right. Okay, so we have a time. We have an ID, a delta, and a time, which is enough probably to test all of these non-timed levels. Let me see if we get a new, I want to see if this works correctly. Emacs, I hate you. I mean, it looks like it maybe worked. I don't know. Yeah. All right. So instead of start testing, I'm going to call it record, because the thing is, when you play back a test, you're actually testing, right? Like, this is not testing. This is record. If unrecord, I don't know. So how do I output to the console? I guess I just do that. I mean, I should make a procedure that does both, but one thing at a time, yo. Okay, so we run, we say record, boom. Okay, so I'm going to add these, and I'm going to say started adding testing scheme. All right, so the next thing is to test a level, right? That makes sense. And in fact, we're going to want to do that so much, let's make a command for it. We're going to say, whoops. Right, we're going to say Control T is test level. Test current level. Test level with no arguments should be the same as test current level. All right, So how do we test a level? Well, maybe we should reset it first of all. So I guess some of these are still hard-coded commands, because when we say okay, currently testing is a bad name. I gotta replace that with currently recording test. Oh boy. All right. So restart count. Yeah, we say restart current level. Currently testing is false. Okay, when we record, we should reset. And just to prevent funny business, like if we started recording and then we started playing a test and then we don't want anything left in the buffer there. So we restart level, we currently testing equals false. Currently playing test is true. Now the reason I'm saying currently playing test is currently going to change our names to protect the innocent. God. Do that without a capital T this time. All right, did we get them all? Yeah. Okay. Now, what do we do? Well, we're up to 79 lines, which is 8 work days of progress at industry standard programming rates. Okay, well, when we test level, we say, well, let's not say currently playing test equals true yet, because, well, we need to get entity manager, get I'm just going to silent fail, because I'm not sure under what cases that would fail yet. I'll think about it later. So we say currently playing test if, well, we got to get a text file handler. If we didn't fail, if we did fail, the handler will print out an error. We might want to also print an error to the screen, but we'll see. Okay. we've got a text file handler. We start it. We need to set these variables. So log agent test level, short name, full path, data level tests. Just like before. Yeah, that should be right. Well, let's just do this. Test load failed, otherwise successfully loaded test, right? Right. Currently testing. We didn't get them all. Currently. Why did I? Did I accidentally undo that or something? I think I did. All right. Okay, so if I hit Control T, successfully loaded test. Check that out. Now we're up to 93 lines, which is 9 days of almost 2 weeks of industry standard programmer progress. At Facebook, even more than that. That's like a month of Facebook progress, at least. 2 months. Wow, so many spam bots lately. So many spam bots lately. Will I ever make a board game? Not anytime soon. You guys, I'm making a testing system right now. That is the subject of this stream. Ah. Oh my God. All right. Well, if you watch, you'll see what I mean by gameplay tests. So now, here's one of our test files. We've started this up, and we're just gonna parse that stuff. All right, so I'm going to have a thing called a loaded test, which is a struct, and it's just a bunch of test moves, just like before. Whatever, we don't care. We may add more to that, but for now we don't need it. Move cursor and move time Yeah. So when we play it back, we're going to use this to visually play back the sequence of moves on the screen. But now our job is we're just going to return there. Okay, now we've got file data. So we're going to say current loaded test is, it's going to be a global or a file scope variable, is parse test of handler. failed to parse test file. We can get more detailed about that later. Just popping something up on the screen. All right, so that'll go up there, and current loaded test is a pointer to loaded test. And when we do this, we're going to say free current loaded test, etc. Well, let's not use an overload for that. I'll just do this. I'll just do this. All right. Parse test we haven't written yet. Now we're always returning an empty test. Oh, it's not called file handler. It's called text file handler. All right, now we're at 123 lines. That's 12 days of industry standard programmer progress. All right, Control T, crash. Ooh. Why'd we crash? That's a good question. Let's see. It's actually not 12 days of industry standard programmer progress if it doesn't run. It has to run. Whoops, not data. What am I doing? So we're not yet at the 12-day mark. All right. Control T. Where'd we crash? All right, if test is null, yeah. Dum, 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 dum. All right. Control T, successfully loaded test. Now we're at 12 days of industry standard programmer progress. Of course, we lied. We have not successfully loaded the test, but that's where we're at. Any questions about what's happening? What happens if you change the level and run the previously recorded test? Well, the way the commands are set up, when you say run a test, it will how do I say it? It'll reload it from the file name of the current entity manager. So that won't happen. However, if I'm playing back, which isn't a thing that's happening yet, but if I'm playing back, let's have a thing we call every frame called test continue playback. If playing test return if you have no loaded tests, we return. If manager.entity name is not equal to loaded test, not entity name, universe name, but universe name, then what do we call it? Game report. Game report. Level has changed. Test playback stop. Now later we're going to want a bulk testing mode that maybe doesn't stop and just rifles through levels one after another and tests them all. But first we need a single level testing mode. Okay. Otherwise, we do whatever we're going to do. And in main, well, let's do the following. Here's the thing, is we want to allow some input. But we don't want to allow input that'll mess up the test playback. So let's look at our do input. Oh yeah, all this timed shit is gonna be interesting. We're gonna have to change a lot of that. Okay, do control input. All right, we're gonna do that. And well, here we'll say test continue playback manager. Right. So this is current loaded test, and this needs to have a universe name. That is and when we say new test, string parse test short name. All right, well, we're almost there. I mean, we've got a few more major things to do, but we're now at 140 lines. Let's see. Let's actually now start to parse this file. Let me remind myself of how I did this. I did like some break. Yeah, we do a while loop and consume next line and that kind of thing. All right. So parse test. We do the following. While true, if we don't find a line, we break. And then the thing is, I didn't really write anything out that helps us sync up, but for now we're going to assume we don't need that. So I'm going to do the following. Unlike the way I often do it, whoops, heroes 1.1.level test. All right. So unlike the way I usually do it, I'm just going to grab 3 lines at a time and then go on. So I'm going to say ID line ID line actually not ID, because our first line is the ID found, and then these are going to be delta, and then this is going to be time. if error loading test, wow. How does text file handle a full path? And then return null. Okay, but let me make this a statement. Nobody cares. Error loading whatever, comma. Oh, I should put all of this, by the way, in if developer, but okay. That's why we don't care if this is a leak, because this is only in developer code. So we go error loading whatever. We should have 3 lines per move, but didn't. Oh, you know, there's a way, actually, if we use, isn't there a way to say an error? No, oh my God, I never did that. Holy crap. Okay, we're going to put an incomplete up there of test file, whatever. And handler.line number. Incomplete. Make an error reporting routine for text file handler. Use it here and also in graph. All right. Could see, oh, it's already a pointer. All right. Successfully loaded test, which means we read these sets of 3s and bailed. And in fact, I'm going to say to see if those ever get out of sync. ID delta time, ID delta time, ID delta time, ID delta time. Right. Now, with this ID line thing, we need a way to parse the ID string. Right? Do we have a string to PID? No. All right. Parse ID string. Right. Let me look in Ignacio's string routines to see, because he recently added some more useful stuff. And we prefix them all by stir right now just because we don't have the right name spacing that we want eventually. Oh, he has wildcard match. That's right. Wildcard match. We don't need that. That's overkill. I'm going to use my from left. All right. All right. Left is find character from left s comma this, if not left, return 0 false. I don't know if 0 is going to coerce correctly. Otherwise, where's decompose entity ID? Entity manager, maybe? Yeah, make entity ID. All right. Make entity ID XX left comma right. So we do that, and then return ID true. All right. Wanted U32 given string. Wait, what? Oh, right. I left, I right. So I left success left to integer left. I right success right to integer right. If not, success left and success right, return 0 false. Assign yeah, fuck it. Okay. That's an old bug that I gotta fix. All right, so let's try this. Boom. Oh wait, we're not actually calling this yet. Look we did a good like 10, 11, 12 lines here. They're not getting counted toward our industry standard 10 lines of code per day. All right. Okay, so we're going to print this, and then we're going to say ID success is parse ID string, ID line. All right. So we load it. Success true, left, right, 1, 2, 6, 1, 1, 2, 6, 1, 1, 2, 6, 1. It worked the first time. It worked the first time. Okay, that's great. So we're going to get rid of this. So, okay, when people say, oh, do TDD, unit test your stuff, like this was my unit test right here of this unit, and I am now deleting this unit test because I never want to see it again. Right, and like this was kind of my unit test of something, and I'm now deleting this because I never want to see it again, because you don't need it. Okay, now we got our ID. That's the hardest part. Well, okay, let's do the delta. I used break by spaces, right? If no ID success, I really need to make this error function unable to parse entity ID. Oh my God, just so much stuff. Return null. Okay. So that's great. Delta in our string module, we have to float remainder delta line. Delta.x is string to float arg string to float remainder delta.x delta success and remainder. Well, we're just gonna have separate successes because we're just gonna keep doing this. We're just gonna spam these out, and then we're gonna say if not dx success and dy success and dz success, you know, at some point I should just make a general data structure serializer, because I could have just thrown all of this at that, if we're being honest, and then printed any comments I wanted to afterward. Whatever, it's not going to be that much effort. But as I'm typing all this, I'm like, we have good introspection in this language. All right. Unable to parse delta. All right. Print delta. Just make sure we got that right. Make it easy to spot, capital letters. I forgot my semicolons. That's when all these Python people say, told you so, you shouldn't have semicolons. All right, look, we got our deltas. It worked great. Boom. Boom. All right. That was our unit test. We just deleted it. See, the thing is, if you keep all your unit tests around, you have to maintain all that testing. It's like not a good idea. And you have to maintain the interface between your tests and your program, which is also not a good idea. All right, so now, what is our third thing? At time. All right, well, time success, string to float timeline, and if not time success, unable to parse time. We really should have factored this into another function. All right, now, what was it called? It was called test move. Move.buffer, move.delta is delta. Move.gameplay time equals time. Move dot I forgot what's in buffered move. Yeah. Well, just the ID. Move.buffered move.id is ID. All right. And then array add, what did we call it? Result. Result dot moves move. And then we continue. And then we return the result. All right. All right. Well, are we ready for the scary part? "192 lines plus about another 10. So we have 20 days of standard, industry standard programmer progress. That's 1 month of work. And it's a ridiculous, I keep saying that because I just get such a kick out of it. Like, the fact that anybody thinks 10 lines a day is acceptable to productivity is just absurd. It's just why the world is so messed up. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we don't care about leaks here because this is only meant to run during development. And it's not even something that is going to run during any long, intensive process. It's just like, hey, we ran the tests. And the tests shouldn't fail to parse anyway during normal things. So if we leak a little bit because we failed to load a test that didn't parse correctly, that's a leak that nobody is ever going to care about. So there you go. All right. So we have a few weird situations to take care of, but let's do the thing here. So current loaded test. Let's just say test is current loaded test, right? Now this has a move cursor. If cursor is greater than or equal to test dot buff, what is it called? Test dot moves dot count, then we say, well, because I'm not sure where we're going to tell people that under normal conditions, by the time we get here, the test should have succeeded. So we should have a transition going to victory. But okay. Game report, test hit end. And return, and currently playing test is false. Okay. All right, well, move is test.moves cursor. And we're just going to go, is it enact move. That's where the rubber meets the road. At some point, you get finally to the point. Really, there's no. Well. All right. Ready? Okay. He moved one entire square. And the reason is that we played back the whole test. And we're not actually waiting, so we're inputting all the commands, but we're not giving him time to move. So we need to do that. Yeah, I mean, we could. So one thing I was thinking is we could skip all the animation. This is just the dance test. It's the dance test. We could skip all the animation, but the problem is that the animation system is one of the things that may break. So, and now if we go to a level that we didn't save a test for, it'll just say load failed. But here we get the dance test. Yep, this is the Leopold FC200 RT. So what do I do? What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to wait. I'm going to look at my previous, yeah, here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say, playback move entity ID equals 0. Right, and when we start playing back, well, when we, actually, that's, since the cursor is on the test, let's put this here, waiting on entity ID. All right, so now if we're here, okay, if test.waiting on entity ID, E is find manager that. If thing E, game report, test exit, unable to find tprint, unable to find number percent, ID string, test dot, let's just make a name for it. Okay. So we find the guy, right, and then okay, so that didn't do anything. Did I not compile correctly? Okay, wait. We find the ID. We look at the visual interpolation. Oh, we never set this. Ha, ha, ha. Ha. Hope somebody caught that. All right. Do 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 do. He's all gimpy, but it's fine. The reason he's gimpy is because we're waiting till we stop every time. There we go. Right? Let's test this level. I need to have it play the, okay. For the special bonus version, we have to like play the Benny Hill music. Who uses global time rate? So we're just gonna Benny Hill it. See what I'm saying? All right. And that's about 22 days of industry standard pathologically low productivity programming. We do put the player on the initial position. So what we do is we reset the level. So if I walk over here and then I hit Control T to start the test, you'll see him teleport back. I think of these things. Come on, bro. Can I play Benny Hill music during the test? Not yet, because we're reserving the Benny Hill music for the bulk test, right? So this is one test at a time. Like I have to trigger the test manually, but maybe later tonight, because I'm going to want to take a break soon, but maybe later tonight, we'll do the stream where we do the bulk testing mode that goes through every level, and then we'll play the Benny Hill music for sure. Right? I mean, why would you not play the Benny Hill music? Is really what I want to know. Let me record some more tests while we're at it. Well, let me check this in. So for people, sometimes people on stream ask, why don't you like unit tests? What kind of testing do you do? And well, this is the kind of testing that I think makes sense. The kind of testing that stresses out the whole system and makes sure that the end result works, right? Unit testing is too uneconomical for people who want to get software done, except in very select cases. So, yeah. All right. So we've got a test here. We've got a test here. We've got a test here. We don't have a test here. So I'm going to start. Is it record? Yeah. Now the thing is, my test recording doesn't handle undo yet. So I'm going to do as many levels as I can handle without screwing up. And then we'll do the undo handling. The thing is, undo is kind of gimped, but yeah. And also the thing we have to do this time is we have to log test failures. Whoops. Well, that's an interesting test to record. It's not the minimal test by any means. All right. Spoilers, everybody who hasn't played Heroes of Sokoban. Oh, that's one thing that we definitely should make sure is working. So the only tests that I've run so far were the single character tests, right? So in principle, all this should work, but we'll make sure. Whoops, sorry, dude. What do I want to do? I never remember how to do this level. Wait, I screwed it up. I screwed it up. Okay, that's where we stop. Unrecord. Let's do, I want to get this level right. Okay, record. I don't know why I keep going in that far. Okay, so we've got to pull out, not that one, we've got to pull this one. Just get rid of it. And then we've got to pull this tooth here, and then this guy pushes that, and then this guy can, uh-oh. That guy can't go in first. Fighter's got to go first. All right. Okay, let's go back and try all those. We already did these. Okay, multi-character. All right, that just worked out of the box. Now you'll note that because of the animation system is a little bit tweaky right now, sometimes the blocks like don't end up exactly on the center of their square and stuff, but we'll clean that up later. Can I summarize the nature of success for these tests? Is it something measurable, or are you looking for glitches? Well, certainly if the game crashes, that's a failure. But what I'm looking for is at the end, and we're not actually checking this yet. So before the stream ends, we have to do it. At the end, so recall that we recorded some number of moves, right? By the time we play back the last move, we should be in the victory state. And we should not be in the victory state before that last move, right? That's what we're testing for. How much of this build is Heroes of Sokoban and how much is original content? You will have to find out later. Am I productive enough to make asteroids in one stream? Probably. I mean, just OpenGL is so annoying. That would be the only problem. Yeah. So we just want to make sure that we get to success state. So, so in victory, what is it called? Transition. We do not advance level if we're currently playing test. Right? So I don't remember why we have a waiting for victory and a victory. I think the waiting for victory is so we can do some additional thing. All right. So here, if we hit the end, we're going to say whether we succeeded or failed. So if transition mode is transition.victory, or is equal, not mood, mode. I must type the word move a lot. Transition.waiting for victory. Well, we'll just say success is false, success is true. I'm breaking this into two pieces because we might want to do other things based on whether success is false or true. Okay. Let's do this. So every frame we're going to know if we're in victory state or not, right? So if we're out of moves, we do this. Else, right, if victory, that's an auto fail. Early victory is a fail. All right. So if we have success, okay. Well, we just say victory here. Let's see if that works. Fail? Why'd we say fail? You know, it's possible that I might be accidentally entering extra moves and that we're recording those. So really what we want to do is not record moves if we're in the victory state while we're recording. That could be what's happening. Let's see. I want to know if we're actually out of moves or something else weird happened. Wait, we're printing fail like every... Oh. Hold on. Why am I printing fail every time? I want to print it here only. Okay, actually, we haven't incremented the cursor yet. Okay, we come in here. So first of all, this stuff should happen after this waiting stuff. All right. Yeah. But we don't want to check. Because before we increment, we will be so cursor is less than okay, something like that. Now we still may have extra moves buffered. I don't know. Success. All right. I'm going to get rid of that successfully loaded test because we know if we successfully loaded because we see the guy start moving. Oh, you know, we don't ever call an act move after victory, so we don't need to filter for that ourselves. All right. So that's pretty good, isn't it? I hope I got all of them. Well, whatever. It's fine. We're going to make a bunch more in a bit anyway. So that was a pretty good time. Some of your comments are tag, e.g. at robustness is your notation used to periodically search for those tags to know what code to revisit. Yes, but not as often as I would like, to be honest. But yes, that's the idea. Any final questions on what we did today? I feel like the next stream is going to be, so between this time and next time, I mean, maybe I'll do this on a stream, but no, probably not because it'll spoil a lot of the game. But I just want to play a lot of the levels and log solutions for them. And once we have enough level solutions, I can do a stream where we go and make a bulk test mode, which will be fun. That'll be the next thing. I want to see it run a few more times because that's entertaining, man. That's good action. Yeah, so the goal for next of these streams is going to be that you can press a key and test every level in the game, right? Like Control T tests one level, probably Control Shift T will test everything and play the Benny Hill song. Do you feel that what playing Heroes of Sokoban will enhance my experience in this game? I mean, if you want to play Heroes of Sokoban, it's really good. All right, everyone. I'm going to sign off and take a break. Thanks for stopping by. It's been fun. Look at how fun it's been. Look at how fun it's been, man. That's how fun it's been. We're giving away all this free, by the way, when the compiler comes out. I mean, not the game levels, but the code. So, do you think you'll write a tester that turns off rendering and runs every level as fast as possible? Maybe, but it's actually a little good to test rendering because rendering is one of the things that is likely to crash, right? So, you know, ideally we can bust this out and like run it on an ATI card and run it on a Mac or something and just make sure they don't all crash. So I kind of think that, you know, having a graphical test mode is fine. We could also do, so if you wanted to test for leaks, for example, once we have bulk test mode, you can just have a mode that runs bulk test over and over and over, right? And you just leave it running at 8 times speed like this for 3 days straight. And that's how you know if you have memory leaks. So this kind of thing is super useful. Yeah, thanks everybody for coming by, and I'll see you later.